I'm Angela Salzville, Director at Flourish Counseling in Denver. Today my entire team and I are sending out love and light across the state of Colorado to everyone who's been impacted by the floods. And for those of you who are watching, I'd like to challenge you to join me in practicing random acts of kindness towards the flood victims. These small acts, random acts of kindness, they cost us practically nothing, but they can have a very powerful impact. And I know from personal experience. Years ago, it was my life that was in crisis, and there was a tragedy unfolding in my world, and I had a lot of loved ones around me seeing me through it. But when things took a real negative turn for the worse, I knew that I needed to notify my friends and family, but I didn't have the energy to call them all with the news. So I sat down and typed up a letter, and I printed it out and headed over to the photocopy center to make copies to mail to all of my loved ones. And the employee who helped me at this store that day was a complete stranger. I had never even been to that store before. But as she photocopied my letter, she couldn't help but to notice that I was in crisis, and she couldn't help but to notice the really tragic news in the letter she was copying for me. So when she was done making my copies, she announced that they were on the house that day, and that it was the least she could do for me in light of what I was going through. Now that was a really small gesture by a complete stranger, but it was 8.5 years ago, and I still remember it vividly. She couldn't stop the tragedy in my life any more than I could, but she did remind me that I live in a world that's full of love and support, even when awful things happen. There is no act of kindness that is too small to have a positive impact. So if you'd like to help the Colorado flood victims, but you're not sure where to start, check out our blog at flourishcounseling.com. We'll list some local grassroots efforts going on in the Denver area, as well as some larger organizations who sure could use your help as they support flood victims. Be well, and I'll see you next time.